Webflow Website Tutorial 2023, How to Make a Website for Beginners. In this video, I'm going to take you through the complete process of creating a professional website using Webflow. So if you're new to Webflow, don't worry, because I'm going to be creating a good website for you, and if you're looking to refresh your skills, this video is for you.
So to get yourself started off, what you can do is you can just go ahead and click on the first link in the description below. It's going to be right there at the top, or you can just come here on your URL, okay? On your search bar, you can write websiteworldmedia.com/webflow, and you're just going to write that. You're going to enter it in, and once you enter this URL in, you are going to be redirected to Webflow's very own page where you're going to start the whole sign up process. So let's just get straight into it.
So here we are on the Get Started. Okay, once you're here, it's going to ask you to enter a work email. Now, I'm going to be using a temp email for myself for now, but if you're doing this for the long run, please do make sure to use a proper email for yourself. So I'm going to go do that, click on continue. Now I'm going to create a strong password. Make sure that it's, okay, once you've done that, you're going to click on create an account. There we go. And once you do that, you're going to basically, just follow all the prompts it gives you with, the whole sign up bit. And once you have, fully followed the prompts, we're just going to head here. And how should we greet you? You're going to enter your name. I'm going to enter my name. Here we go. I'm going to click on continue. What best describes your role? So you could be, a web designer, product designer, etc. I'm going to go with a web designer for now. Click on continue. Who will you be building your websites for? So you could be, as a freelancer for other clients or for yourself. I'm going to go myself, okay? And click on continue. How comfortable are you with HTML and CSS? So you can tell them if you're familiar, if you're unfamiliar. I'm going to go with I'm unfamiliar, okay? Because most of you who are watching right now, maybe you're not, polished on your website creation skills, or maybe you don't even do coding. You don't even have an idea of it. So I'm going to keep this for you. So what do you want to build today? Okay. So first of all, obviously, we're going to have a good insight on what we're going to create. Either we could create a business site, an e-commerce store, a portfolio, or a blog, okay? Now, I'm going to go with business site for now. Basically, what a business site is it's a site where you can, endorse your business. Tell people about your business that, okay, I do this. This is the things I do. This is what my business has in place, has in store. This is what I do. E-commerce store is like, your Nike or Adidas store. I'm going to show you ways. So you get the point. Nike store where you sell stuff. So that is your e-commerce store. So we're just going to head on over here, and here we go. Webflow making it pop. So now what we're going to do is basically, once we have successfully created everything, followed the prompts, and logged ourselves in, from here on out, basically once you're in, you're going to, see all the things that it's providing you. So get started with Webflow. In 2 minutes, you'll learn how to create a simple layout visually without code. I'm going to exit this. I'm going to exit the tutorial because I don't really need to watch it. Okay. Now, once we've exited the tutorial, here we are. So, first of all, what you're going to want to do is once you're in, you can choose to use a template or start from scratch. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is starting from scratch. Start from a blank canvas and build exactly what you're envisioning, or you can choose any one of these templates. So, we'll be using a template for this tutorial, but feel free to experiment with starting from scratch if you prefer that. So I'm going to choose a good free template for myself. It's a business site, right? So let's go with this one. Let's go with this. And I'm going to click on, first of all, I'm going to go on preview. I'm going to see how it looks, okay? And same for you. If you're going with a template, go ahead and preview it first. If you like what you see, then and only then will you go ahead and select it. So once you select it, you're going to choose the site's name. Once you've chosen the site's name, you're going to click on create site. Okay. Now, once you're here, we're going to be, taking a look into the Webflow's dashboard. So let me just wait for it to load up real quickly. Okay. Now, while it's loaded up, let me explain this to you that we're about to take a good look at the main dashboard. So basically, here we are in the dashboard. This is where we are going to be able to edit and add everything to our website. So let's take a few minutes to explore the dashboard and familiarize ourselves with its features. Okay, so first of all, You can go with like this, setup tutorial that it gives you, like change colors, fonts, and classes. How do you do that? Okay. Now, as you can see, the whole layout of Webflow, it's pretty Photoshop, okay? Like, it gives off a very Photoshop vibe, as you can see. If you've ever used an Adobe editor, you know that this looks a lot like that. So, this is how you can change, basically, colors, fonts, and classes. So, let me, go in depth. So, here's your layout. You can choose the layout of your designs. So, I'm going to just keep this one for now. You can also mess around with the spacing. Like, let's say if you want to add padding, let's say I'm going to add 100 padding. You get the point. So I'm going to reset that for now. Now, what you can do more is also, these sizes that you have. You have your width, you have your height, all this stuff over here. You can also overflow by unhiding and stuff like that. You can fit it to whatever position you want. You can mess around with, its positioning. You can mess around with the typography, like you can set a good font size if you want to, a good weight, a good size for the font, a good height for the font, a good color. And the color is pretty abstract choice. You can choose from a wide range of colors. And as you can see, I've just changed the text to blue like that. Looks pretty, like right now it looks pretty off. But don't worry, we're going to work on that. We're going to make your look better. You can also add borders to your background if you want to. Like, let's say I'm going to add a border. Oh, look at that. It's added a pretty discrete border to our background. It looks pretty good. Then obviously you have, if I were to back out from here, you have your effects panel. And in the effects panel, you can basically, darken, multiply, color burn, light, screen dodge if you want to. These are all the blending options that you're going to get. Then obviously there's different outlines, box shadows, 2D and 3D transform, transitions, filters, backdrop filters, tons and tons of different editing, you could say, tools that you can use to just make your website look better. Then obviously, this is the add elements section. And in the add elements section, wait, let's open the setup. And yeah, so first of all, there's the replace images. So to replace images, what you can do is if I go over here, okay. Now once you're over here, basically what you're going to do is you're going to click over here. And once you click over here, let's say I'm going to like choose a random image. Make sure it's like a maximum 4 megabytes file. If it's bigger than that, then it will not allow it to, be pasted. So let's go with, let me just choose a random 4 megabyte file. Let's go with this, okay? Now, once you've chosen your file, you're going to like upload it into that section. So again, you're just going to go on replace images, replace this image, background image with whatever you want. Then you can also modify the layout of your template. And for that, you're going to basically come on add. And once you're over here, you're going to go on layouts. And you can like choose different layouts. And furthermore, obviously these are the layouts. Then if you go in elements, obviously here are different elements that you can add, like different sections you want to add into your website. You have different containers. Okay, and we're going to be discussing all of this, so don't worry. We're going to be, going through all of this in like great detail. So please do make sure to keep watching till the end. So then you have connect your site to dynamic data. Basically, what this is you can add and edit blog posts, help articles, etc. without ever touching your website's design by creating a CMS collection. So CMS collection is basically, all the different blog posts and stuff like that. And you can create new blog posts if you want to and export it from different websites if you want to. But yeah, you get the point. Then you obviously, like let's say if you want help in some kind of thing, Webflow also has an amazing feature of tutorials. So if you come over here in the bottom left, you can see video tutorials. And if you click on them, you can get all these tutorials. It's a pretty cool feature to have in my opinion. And yeah, you can get all the help you want from these features over here. And then obviously, in like these steps, it just asks you to publish your site. And to publish your site, it says to select a domain for yourself. Now, either you can choose the Webflow's, their own domain, the free domain that they give you, which is not the most attractive, but hey, that's what you're going to get for free. And then there's the custom domain, which you can add by yourself. So we're going to skip all that. We're going to skip all that hefty process for now. We're not going to like obviously export it right now. We're going to discuss more about the stuff that we can see in the left-hand side. So obviously, as I said, these are the add elements. And in the add elements section, you obviously have different types of layouts, like sections, containers, grids, and columns. So to like bring them here, all you need to do is, it's like a basic drag and drop. So you're just going to drag it, drop it, and there you go. You have a section like that over there. And to do more things, again, if you go on add, you have different containers and grids to add, different columns to add. You have different div blocks. Div blocks, these are basically for coding, so I best recommend you to ignore that. Then you have your lists where you can add different lists of images, list items. You have link blocks, and then you have buttons as well. Buttons are basically if someone clicks on it, they're going to be redirected to some certain thing. So let's say if I were to add youtube.com, okay. Oh, and I'm going to click on open a new tab, okay. And let's say I'm going to set it like that. If someone clicks on this, they're going to be redirected to youtube.com. So you get the point. That's what buttons are for. They're just going to redirect you to someplace or link you to a page of your own website. So it's a pretty cool feature to have. Then there's obviously the typography section where you can basically, add different text blocks if you want to, add paragraphs of text, add headings, text links, you have block quotes, you have rich text, and much more. Like these are just, your main text widgets that you can add to just make your website look much more professional, much more nicer. And then obviously, apart from all of that, you have your collection list, media, you have different forms that you can mess around with, you have different advanced tools that you can mess around with. Then you have the component section where you can create different components. Right now, as you can see, we have the footer component, which is right here, the CTA component where we can add content in. Then obviously, if you were to go here, this is your navigator, okay? And this is where you can choose where you want different things to be at. So you can bring the CTA up here, you can bring the label down here. So this is basically where you mess around with the navigation. This is the pages setting, and this is where we can add new pages, change, the destination, you could say, of different pages. You can reorder them if you want to. So yeah, you get the point. This is obviously the CMS, as I told you. These are the users that you can add. This is the e-commerce section, obviously. In the e-commerce section, you're going to basically add all the online store components that you can to your website. This is the assets section. Obviously, these are all the assets that you have in your website or the assets that you're going to have in your website. And this is the settings place where, you have your general settings for your website and much more. So after that, we are going to want to do is basically once we've discussed the whole dashboard bit, that was the whole dashboard. And that was, all the features that Webflow brings you. Now let's add some content to our website. We'll start with text, button, and images. These are the basic building blocks of any website and can easily be added and edited in Webflow, because as we see, Webflow has a pretty compact and abstract design flow, and it's a great thing to just easily work around with. It's not too difficult, not too complex, you could say. And yeah, we're going to talk about it in great depth. So to add content, what you're going to do, okay, is obviously, first of all, you're going to go and add over here. So let's find a section that we want to add content to. So I'm going to make a section over here. Now, first of all, let's go in this header section. Now, once you go in the header section, let's say you want to change the image in the background. So to change the image in the background, you're going to go to over here. And once you go over here, you're going to go and add. Once you go and add, you're going to go in media, and here's image. And you're going to drag it over here. And you can extend the whole image and, choose it as whatever you want in the background. Or let's say you want to change the whole parent element of the image in the back. For that, what you can do is you can come to the right hand side and scroll a bit down, and here you have the backgrounds, right? So what you can do is you're going to click on that, and you can choose your image for yourself. So let's say I'm going to choose this one, okay? You're going to choose that one, and there you go. That is how you're going to choose your image. Now, as we can see, the text has been blended in. So let's click on the text and go on the text color, and let's, change the color to something that our audience or customers can see. Now, obviously, you can see this, it's a bit opaque and, it's not really visible. So I'm going to make it less opaque, and there you go. And then obviously you have this learn more button over here. You can choose what feature this brings. So to see what features this brings, you're just going to double click on it, and you can see this basically redirects you to the about page. This is linked to the about page, and you're going to be redirected straight to it, which is pretty basic thing to have, pretty good feature, pretty common feature to have in your business site. So After that, now that we've added an image, we've added a text, let's go ahead and discuss more about different sections. So in this section, let's go and add more text. So we're going to go and add, again, let's go and add a heading block. So let's go in a heading block. We have H1 and we're going to double click on it and let's write something. So let's write new. We're going to write business. We're going to write that. And once we write that, obviously as I told you, you can add more aspects to this, add more padding if you want to. Let's say I'm going to add the padding to this section. There we go. And as you can see, you just add padding. Padding is basically, just adding more spacing, or, just making it look more open, making it look more free, if that makes sense. So once you've added the padding, what you can do more is you can add an image to this padding. So again, go and add media. And once you go and add media, we're going to go in image. So let's just choose a random image, okay? Let's go and upload over here. Let's go and upload, and let's go with this image. So this is basically a logo, a random logo that I picked off of Google. So I'm going to bring it here, and look at that. So from here on out, what you can do is you can like edit it around. You can bring the image around. You can mess around with wherever you want it to be settled in. So let's say we have the image right here, right? So what you can do is you're going to model wrap it. And once you model wrap it, just move it around to whatever like place you want it to be, whatever section you want it to be. Let's say I'm going to bring it up here. Okay. Now once it is up here, make sure to like click on it and move it to the right if you want to. So once you move it, wait, let me select this. Once you select it, over here you can also do more things, like you can give it different effects. Like let me give it some box shadows. You're going to go here on box shadows, and look at that. There's the box shadow. Give it a good angle if you want to. Give it a nice old blur like that. You can also choose the size of the blur if you want to. Like let's say it's a pretty sizable blur. It looks pretty nice. And then obviously align it to like the center if you want to. Align it to the side if you want to. So I'm going to obviously like keep it in the center, and give it different paddings. So there we go. By giving it padding, I can move it to the left, and here we are. So new business, I've added the logo down here, and obviously you can take it a bit up. Okay, so I'm gonna take it a few inches up, and there we go. And make sure to like crop it a bit, or just keep it like this. Totally depends on whatever you want, whatever looks best, to be honest. So once you've obviously, again, as we discussed, we're going to add our text and images to like fill out the content of your website, because obviously that just makes your website more full and more interesting, if that makes sense. And it can also be easily added and edited, as I just showed you. Pretty compact and abstract editing. After that, let's add some layout bundles. They are pre-designed, as I showed you, pre-designed sections of your website that can be added in just a few clicks. This will help you save time and add some visual interests to your website. So if you go in add elements, and we're going to go on layouts. So, to save time, let's click on a single layout. Like, let's go with the hero bar. And once you click on the hero bar, you're going to like drag and drop it somewhere. So as you can see, our hero has come over here. Now you can take it up into where the hero should actually be, or you can just keep it down here. And once it's over here, just add whatever image you like, add whatever type of texts you like. And yeah, that is basically how you can add more layout bundles. These are pre-designed. And as you can see, it already has a button, already has some good font, some good text placements, and some good image placements. So once you obviously have this in your arsenal, what more you can do is basically we're going to add some navigation. So to add navigation, we know that navigation is crucial to any website, as it helps your visitors to find their way around. Webflow makes it easy to add and customize navigation marks. So how do you do that? We're going to go on add element, okay? And once you go on add elements, you can either just stick to layout, or you can go on elements, and we're going to go on nav bar. Now, once you go on nav bar, we're going to come up here, okay? So here is your navigations. So your navigations are already here. So to add what they're going to lead it to, just again, double click on it, go on its settings, and see what it's going to lead them to. So the text says about, but where is this text going to, redirect you? So it could, redirect you to some place like navigation item. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to come down here to see where this person is redirected to. And as we can see, they're going to be redirected to the about page. And then obviously there's the navigation item work. Again, you can double click on it, and once you double click on it, you can set its navigation. And yeah, this is like basically the easiest navigation item techniques you can follow, because the template or the theme you're going to go with is already going to provide you with all this stuff. But if you want to, get into the specifics on how you're going to do it more specifically, all you're going to do is, again, go and add elements, and then just go and add navbar. And you're just going to drag it here, and as you can see, there's your navbar. And then you can just set up different navigations, so you get the point. So once we have obviously discussed about the whole navigation menu and the navigation status, now let's take a look at the responsive design. Remember, it is important that your website looks good on all devices, whether it's a desktop computer, tablet, or mobile phone. Webflow makes it easy to design for all devices. So what you can do is, obviously this is your laptop design. Make sure to go to like tablet, okay, and mobile phones. So just so you know that your design is optimized for other devices as well, because we don't only want it to look good for our laptop or desktop view. We want it to look good in general. We want it to look good on mobile and tablet views as well. Now, what more things you can do is basically, once you've like checked out the whole responsive design, finally we'll take a look at the project settings. Here basically, let's go ahead and here you go, here are the settings. Okay, here is basically where you can add like the layout buttons if you want to. And once you add the layout buttons, what you can do is you can also add your logo and optimize your website for search engines. These settings are important for branding and ensuring your website is easily found by potential visitors. So for that, what you're going to do is you're going to come to the settings over here. Okay, once you go there, add in an ID for yourself, add in whatever like div header stuff if you want to. Go on the custom attributes. Okay, check if you have any issues with the settings over there. And once you've done that, only then you're going to go on the tick sign over here. And if there are no issues found, just go on project settings. Okay. Once you go on project settings, we're just going to wait for this to load up. And once our project settings are loaded up, obviously add a favicon for your website. I'm going to add it right there. There we go. Then you're going to add your main logo. Again, add your logo just like that. Make sure that the dimensions are whatever they want it to be, because they are pretty picky about it. So once you've added all that stuff, finally, what you're going to be left with is the localization. Make sure to have the correct time zone, or at least the right time zone accordingly to whatever time zone you're making this in. Then shared sites will appear in Made in Webflow search results as your public profile. So you can choose this to be on or off, totally depends on you. Website password, you can also enable password protection, but for that, you're going to need to add hosting and upgrade your workspace plan. So I'm going to show you that in a second as well. You can also share your workspace template if you want to, let's say, bring other people into your editing. You could do that as well. And then there's the Webflow branding. To hide Webflow branding from published sites, add hosting or upgrade your workspace plan, as I told you. And then you also have a whole overview of your site, like, the total assets you've used, how many minutes you've spent in actually actively, editing it. You can also choose last it was published here. And then obviously you have other features like you can see the templates that you used, how many pages you consist of it, and how much data it has. So there are all your, main settings. Then obviously there's the member setting. In the member setting, you can see all the members that, the users you've shared your website with or who are working on your website with you on. So you can, mess around with those settings as well. Then you have the whole publishing section. In the publishing section, basically, you have custom domains, okay? Once you have a site plan, You can add your domain below or buy a new Google or GoDaddy domain. So note, some DNS providers don't support using SSL on the root domain, this version without www. So upgrade to a paid site plan to add or purchase custom domains. Then you have the 301 redirects where you can maybe someone clicks on your old links. So that's a 301 redirect where you're going to redirect them from your old link to your new link. Then you had advanced publishing options you get where you can enable SSL, which is like a certificate to, increase security for your website and SEO benefits. You can also minify the HTML, which is, your website coding edit. Then you have the different plans and billings that come with workflow. Okay, now there are 4 discrete plans. This is for a normal website though. This is for like a business or something normal like that. So you have the starter, you have the basic, you have the CMS, and then you have the business. They're respectively $0, $14, $23, and $39. Okay, but this is only for the website. If you want to make an e-commerce website where you can do transactions and stuff like that, for that, the standard is $29, the plus is $74, and the advanced is $212. So, respectively, these prices increase as well. Then, obviously, there's your SEO, which is your search engine optimization, which, when it comes to websites, this is one of the most important things ever. Because search engine optimization is what allows your website to, end up on the first page on Google and people clicking on it. So obviously there's indexing aspect where you can disable Webflow subdomain indexing if you want to. Then you have your sitemap where you can auto-generate your sitemap if you want to. You have your Google site verification where verifying your site with Google will give you access to your website's private Google search data. You will also be able to affect how Google search crawls your site. And then you have your global canonical tag URL that you can set. All site pages will use this global tag URL as their starting point and append the page's unique URL slug after it. So once we've discussed that, then there's obviously your forms. These are like the forms you can choose for your notifications, different form submissions that you have. And these are basically all your settings that you can use for your branding and marketing. One more extremely important and crucial thing is going to be your backups, because make sure you need to make backups for your website, because it doesn't usually happen, but never say never. There could be a point where your website might crash, or maybe the server might be having issues, and for some reason your website might go down. So you do need to make sure that you have backups of your website, because imagine you have a very successful and huge website and you have no backups of it. So it's just going to be deleted and gone forever. There's just going to be a void over there. You're going to have to create everything again and it's going to be a whole drag. So just make sure to have backups. Then is your integrations. Integrations is just to, help your workflow more, smoother, help yourself, with other things like Google Analytics, where you can, see the analytics of your website. There's Google Optimize, where you can start running A/B, multivariate, and more tests on your page with Google Optimize, okay? And you can connect them if you want to. There's Google Maps, where an API key is required to use Google Maps. You can, maybe tell location for your workplace using Google Maps. Then there's obviously Facebook Pixel for, if you want to, let's say, promote Facebook ads. It's just like your Amazon affiliation. You can make money with Facebook ads. And then there's obviously custom codes like your CSS and HTML if you want to, mess around with them. But yeah, that's basically all there is to it. There's not a lot that goes on. But yeah, that's all there is to it when it comes to Webflow's website designer and editor. Now that we've mostly talked about the website and everything, we've talked about all the basics of Webflow and how to create everything. Let's go a bit more into the main stuff, the details, you could say. So let me give you a whole review of what goes on into Webflow. So take a look at the website building tool. That places a huge emphasis on the design flexibility. Is it right for building your online presence? Or would you be better off with an alternative? Let's find out. So, let me give you a whole detailed look on Overflow, an overview of what Webflow basically is. So, We know that Webflow is a great website building platform that lets you, create your online website or an online store. It's a cloud-based software as a service, which also known as an SaaS design tool that runs in a web browser, and you pay a monthly or yearly subscription to use it. And obviously, you can use Webflow in two different ways. By designing and hosting your website on Webflow and using the Webflow editor to update it, or by designing a site with the platform but then exporting the site's code and hosting it on your own server space. Most users opt for the first method, where websites built with Webflow are more reliable when they're hosted on Webflow's own servers and easier to update because you get access to a content management system and a style editor, neither of which are available in the self hosted version. Users who choose the second option, exporting Webflow websites to be hosted elsewhere, tend to be professional developers and web design agencies that are comfortable with updating and editing websites via coding rather than using content management systems to do so. Webflow also provides you with a large selection of customizable templates that can be edited to match your brands and services, and it contains many features that allow you to create a very original and visually impressive website for yourself. Founded in 2013 and based in San Francisco, Webflow positions itself as a no code web development tool, a platform that allows non programmers and programmers alike to create websites without needing a development skills. Despite its, you know, no code emphasis, you can edit the CSS of your Webflow website and add HTML or JavaScript to it. So, mainly, who is Webflow aimed at and how many people actually use it? The Webflow platform is mainly aimed at and your solopreneurs, small business owners, freelance web designers, web design agencies, large brands, and tech companies. Now, when choosing a platform to build your business with, it's very important to know that it's going to be there for a long haul, and this looks likely to be the case with Webflow. The company has recently raised over $140 million in funding for continuing its growth and development and is valued at $4 billion. So that's pretty crazy. According to internet statistics company builtwith.com, there are around 400,000 live websites built and hosted with Webflow. Additionally, it counts Zendesk, Dell, and Upwork among its clients. So overall, Webflow looks like a safe bet as a website building tool. But how much does it cost to use? So the Webflow pricing is a bit confusing. This is because with Webflow, you have to deal with three sets of plans. You have the site plans, e-commerce plans, and workspace plans. So the e-commerce and site plans are the easiest to understand because they work in a similar way to those offered by well-known online website builders like Wix and Shopify. In other words, with these plans, you pay a monthly fee and get all the key things you need to build a website or store with: hosting, a content management system, which is also known as a CMS, and the option to map your site to a custom domain. In the case of the e-commerce plans, you also get tools for selling products online. The site and e-commerce plans are priced as follows. So, the starter is obviously $0. It's totally free in the start. Then you have the basic plan, which is an $18 plan. Then you have the CMS plan, which is $29, and then the business plan, which is $49. Then you also have the e-commerce plans, which the standard is $42, the plus is $84, and the advanced is $235. So in terms of the differences between site plans, these revolve around whether or not you want to access to a CMS. The basic plan doesn't give you the access to one. You can only create static sites with it. How many editable CMS items, dynamic content items like blog posts and galleries you need on your site, the number of visitors that can visit your site per month, your storage space, and the number of people who can actually edit your site. Simply put, the more expensive the plan, the more you get all of the above. Pricing for Webflow site plans: these plans are ideal for portfolio sites, blogs, and brochure sites. As for the e-commerce plans, the main differences between these involve the number of products you can sell: 500 on standard, 5,000 on plus, and 15,000 on advanced. The transaction fees are also different, like 2% on the standard plan, 0% on the others. Staff accounts, the standard plan lets you have 3 users, while the plus plan comes with 10 users, and the advanced plan lets you have up to 15. Pricing for the Webflow e-commerce plans go up to 42, 84, 235 as I told you. And yeah, like while the site and e-commerce plans that you're provided with can be used by individuals who simply want to build a website themselves, workspace plans are more geared towards professional web designers and web design agencies. They let you manage multiple sites and build them in collaboration with multiple users. Significantly, the workspace plans also let you export your site code. This means that if you like, you can simply upload this code to your own server or hand it over to a developer to enhance. If you do this, however, you won't be able to use the Webflow content management system to edit your site when it's live. You are able to export a static design only. There are basically 6 workspace plans available: the starter, freelancer, core, agency, growth, and enterprise. Obviously, the price increases respectively. The freelancer and agency plans are designed for web design agencies building Webflow sites for clients, while the starter, core, growth, and enterprise plans are intended for individuals and companies building their own sites. The differences between all these workspace pricing plans involve the number of users who can work on a project simultaneously, the number of sites that can be managed on this, publishing permissions, whether custom code can be added, whether your site code can be exported, security and enhanced customer support. If you are on an enterprise plan, you get advanced features for managing security plus access to a customer success support manager. That this gives you more of a white glove customer support setup than the other plans, which provide email support only. And for this, again, you have the free, the $28, the $60, and the enterprise plan. So it's pretty cool and basic stuff. And yeah, like you have all these features for yourself. Now, if you were to, discuss more about like the number of templates that you have, that's also pretty cool because you have like over 1500 Webflow template library templates. 48 of them are free, the rest of them are obviously a bit paid. Then the quality of templates is amazing. Webflow templates are presented in various categories, for example, portfolios, design blogs, medical, and e-commerce. The templates are of a very high quality. They are modern and aesthetically pleasing. They include pre-built elements like data capture, forms, background videos, and online store pages, and all of these are fully customizable. Many templates make use of Webflow's custom animation feature, Webflow Interactions, which allows designers to create unique scroll effects, zoom effects, hover effects, and page transitions that kick in when visitors interact with your web pages in various ways. So, yeah, like that's your main overview of the whole Webflow website. Now, the yeah, that's basically about it. With the help of this tutorial, you should be able to create a professional looking website using Webflow in no time. I really hope this video was helpful and informative, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And if you want to watch more videos like this, watch more tutorials like this related to e-commerce and stuff like that, let me know down in the comments below. And if you have any queries related to this video, if I left anything out, please let me know that as well so I can fix it as soon as possible.
Now, if you want to see builder comparisons between websites, you make sure to go and check out our website World Media, because over there you can see one of the best website building comparisons out there. So yeah, that's about it.
Thanks for watching. Happy website building. That was all from me, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.